Welcome to Sack to the Future 1961 Week 13's bonus game as we move into December. Thursday night primetime. This actually be the end of November. We've got the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Titans. Neither team are in the playoff hunt. Both looking to get a win though and get some positive momentum moving on. If you're tuning in expecting to see some of the big names in Minnesota, 3 big name starters are out. Fran Tarkenton, Jim Marshall, and what the heck is that other guy's name? Rip Hawkins. For the Jets, they'll be starting Al Darrow at quarterback, the future Buffalo Bill. Did I? Slow, okay. Jump forward to end of game. The Vikings kick off. And Cooper will bring it out to start the game. And the Titans will take over at the 40-yard line after a huge return by Cooper. Again, this week, here's a look at Al Darrow. 16 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 2,593 yards. This game selected it's John M's week to pick. He only had 2 choices. It was either this or the Chargers and 49ers. And I guess he wanted some new blood. Darrow in the shotgun on 1st and 10. Back to pass. He's going to step up. He throws on the run. It is caught by Brewster. I don't know a lot about the Titans roster because we really haven't seen them. Here's there's Mike Hudak at center, Bob Mishak and Mike Pyle the guards, Proverb Jacobs and Jerry Klotz the tackles, Dick Christie and Curly Johnson running backs, Max Boyce and the tight end, Art Powell and Don Maynard. Don Maynard, the future Hall of Famer. Is he a Hall of Famer? I think he is. Look, the New York Titans, former Giant. Darrow back to pass. Throws it over the middle of Max Boyce in the tight end. And he is going to pick, he's going to pick up a couple. And look at the Viking defensive line. Rob Denton, Don Joyce, Bill Bishop, and Jim Prestel. Again, Jim Marshall is out injured. Frank Kuchta, Clancy Osborne, Carl Rubke, Rip Hopkins is out injured. Charlie Sumner and Rich Mustardo at the safeties. Dick Pezinen and Jack Morris, your corners. Already played in this week's Sack to the Future. The Brian Phelps channel has produced both games, Cowboys versus Buccaneers, and the Ravens, not the Ravens, the Browns versus the Dallas Texans. Darrow back to pass on 3rd and 5. Steps up, almost intercepted. Justin Rowland, number 26. That shouldn't be Justin Rowland. That's Charlie Sumner, number 26. That's weird. I'd say 26. I wonder why yeah, Sumner. Evidently the computer. Oh, unless they're calling it the coach, because we know that it's Norm Van Brocklin, but the computer, it might be some guy named Justin Rowland. So I apologize for that. Curly Johnson punts the ball away, and it's going to go into the end zone and touchback. By switching my son's profile over to here's a look at George Shaw, the former Baltimore Colt. 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He did start the season for the Vikings, was replaced mid-season by Fran Tarkenton. By switching my son's profile constantly every week, multiple coaches have actually been retired from the league, so you might see some unfamiliar faces. I don't know, maybe Justin Rowland's one of them. Anyway, let's move along. Shaw throws it incomplete. It was just a fumble down on the Rams-Bears game. Bears leading the Rams 15-6. I look at the Vikings offensive line. Bill Latham, Jerry Huth, Mike Raybold, Frank Usel, and the star Grady Alderman. Hugh McElhenney and Tommy Mason, the running duo. George Smith, the tight end. Dave Middleton, and I missed the other wide receiver. Shaw in the shotgun on 2nd down. He's back to pass. Throws it over the head of his man. George Shaw definitely brings a different element than Fran Tarkenton did. Here's the Titans defense. Paul Miller, Dick Gesman, and Sid Youngelman. The defensive line. Linebackers are Larry Grantham, Jerry Steffen, Jimmy Harris, and Ed Cook. And the defensive backs, Junior Wren, Burt Retchichar, Dick Felt, and Johnny Bookman. Retchichar, a former Colt. Played in the 58 and 59 NFL titles. He was also with me in 60 as we went to the Super Bowl. Shaw fakes the handoff to McElhenney. Shaw is going to scramble out to his right. He's going to throw across his body, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Dick Felt. You know he's present. When he enters, you know he's been felt. And that's what she said. Shaw across his body, and Dick Felt pops up, makes the interception. Something big just happened with the Rams. Trubisky looks like maybe a fumble. Not sure what's happened there. Gave it to big number 96. Nope. Trubisky rolled out through into the end zone. Alright, I don't know what's going on. They got 90, 98, 96, and they're throwing to 79. Well, that was earlier in the game. Okay. So now I don't know what's going on. It's first and 10. Anyway, back up here. Charlie Sumner on the interception. He's going to go the distance. Was it an interception or a punt? I wasn't watching. Sumner for the touchdown. His third interception this season. It was an interception. Zal Darrell misfired. Right over the middle, low. You're going to want to, of course, look at this and make sure it was a catch. Once he got through the opening line, there was nobody to catch him. Oh, okay, I get you. So they are going to review the pass. Charlie Sumner in his 7th year out of William and Mary. Let's see. It looks like a catch to me. I think it's good. Touchdown, Minnesota. If I had to pick, obviously, I'm going to go with Minnesota because I don't know what their Titans record is exactly. I know they're behind the Bills and Patriots, but still, it never hurts to have help. And the extra point is good by Mike Mercer, and it's 7-0. Oh, the Titans are 6-5. Well, the Bills are 8-4, so yeah, definitely need a Minnesota win. The Bills are 7-4. My bad. This is Thursday Night Football, so you won't see any of the final scores from other games. You can check out the Brian Phelps channel if you want to see the Browns versus the Dallas Texans, or the Cowboys taking on a semi-pro Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Still to come this week on the VinnyXWolf channel, tomorrow night, the Boston Patriots take on the Baltimore Colts. And in my main event, on Tuesday night, it's the Buffalo Bills fighting for the AFL Eastern Division title up against the current leaders for the NFL home field advantage, the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. The Bills seem on paper to be outmatched, but that's why they play the games. And nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, and many other cliches about Chris Berman. Also later in the week, coming up on the channel, already played on the Phantom Fighter channel, who you can see commenting on the side, the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. Still to come on his channel will be the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions, and the John M channel, excuse me, the New York Giants versus semi-pro New Orleans Saints, and a game that many feel would have been a dream match, as in real life, the defending 1960 NFL champion Philadelphia Eagles versus the defending 1960 AFL champion Houston Oilers. Of course, in the active future, neither one, the Eagles didn't even make the playoffs, but it's still a dream matchup, Eagles and Oilers. As you can see there, Phantom Fighter says that Tuesday night will be the Bears and Lions, so doubleheader, Bears, Lions, Bills, Packers. We'll try and coordinate it so that you can watch both live or catch one on the replay, depending on time constraints. As I'm off Wednesday, I can go late, so that's alright. Alright, so first and 10 after that big Darrell run. Sends Brooks in motion. Here's the give to Dick Christie. And he is going to be brought down after a pickup of maybe 2-1. Charlie Sumner on the tackle, so far the game's MVP. And we got a flag. There was movement early. Let's see who's on. Let's see who the Titans coach was in 1961. False start on the Titans. Sammy Baugh. Slinging Sammy Baugh. On the sideline of the New York Titans. Slinging Sammy Baugh versus Norm Van Brocklin, the Minnesota coach. It's a quarterback duel. I love quarterbacks, so it works for me. Darrow back to pass. He is going to be hit and dropped by Bobby Denton. Of course, was a quarterback in high school. You can check out some of that action on the VinnyXWolf channel. Just search for Saranac Lake. One game in particular, I sat the bench. I didn't start. It was 5-9 before Doug Flutie came back to America. It was kind of hard to get action. But if you check out the 1994 JV game against the Saranac Chiefs, you'll see me in action and what I could have done as a scrambling quarterback. Back to live action. We're going for a 59-yard field goal by Mike Mercer. And it is got the distance and good. And no, that was not Mike Mercer. It's the Titans kicking. That ain't bad. That was Dick Kessman, the big offensive or defensive lineman, with a 59-yard field goal. Holy cannoli! George Shaw, 0 for 3. Bears should start at 9:30, 10. Okay, I'll tell you what. The Bears, as soon as the Bears-Lions game's finished Tuesday night, unless it gets to be 11 o'clock and you haven't started yet, Eastern time, the Bills-Packers will go on right after. Shaw back to pass, fakes the handoff. He's going to scramble to his right. Throws. It's overthrown and incomplete. I knew the Bears would play the Rams tough, but this is... Oh, interception. And deep into Bear territory. Okay, back to... yeah, Shaw does, indeed. Shaw hands it off to Hugh McElhenney, the king. A member of the $1 million backfield for the 49ers. He's going to pick up a first down and 22 yards. Yeah. In case you don't understand what Phantom Fighters Wait For It means. I cut the cord back in July. So, I'm on apps. I'm on the Hulu app watching the game. I'm about a minute behind live TV, so... Anyway, back to Sack of the Future action. McElhenney with a nice spin move. Picking up 22 yards on a carry. Brought down by Dick Felt. Oh, interception Bears right back. So that must have been what the wait for it was. Huh. Boy, Jared Goff not playing like a NFL MVP tonight. George Shaw completes the pass to Smith. Gordy Smith, the rookie out of Arizona State. First and 10 at the Viking 27. Excuse me. Shaw hands it off to McElhenney. And McElhenney is going to pick up 8 yards on the carry. Well, it certainly is not the Chiefs' D. The Bears have definitely built a winner. Back in August, I went on a record at NFL Fanatics Club on Facebook. Made my official prediction and predicted the New Orleans Saints versus the New England Patriots, with the Saints winning and both Breeze and Brady retiring after the game. The only two quarterbacks in the league who are still older than me. Right cow catches the ball. It's going to be a first down to the 7 on a 12-yard pickup. I am sticking by my pick, although I don't want to see the Patriots make their third straight Super Bowl. But I'll tell you what, the Bears defense is definitely something to behold. If they can somehow get a home game against either the Rams or the Saints in the playoffs, I don't know, they're going to need some help though, because they've got, the Bears are 9-3. Maybe 9-3 after this game. It'd be awesome for you, indeed. Anyway, back to this. Handoff to rookie Tommy Mason. He's going to pick up 4, and it'll be second and goal. Anyway, I've been making predictions since 1991. And only 3 times have I gotten both teams right, and only once have I gotten the winner right. In 1991, I said, now I was 12, so I said the Bills would beat the Redskins. I had the right teams, wrong outcome. And in 2012, I said the Ravens would beat the 49ers, and lo and behold, that's the only time I've ever been right on both teams. I've had, like I once said the Eagles, in 03 I said the Eagles and Patriots, they went 0-4. But, yeah, this year I said Saints and Patriots. Shaw hands it off. McElhenney, he's going to be hit and dropped in the backfield, loss of 1. It'll be 4th and goal, and on will come Mike Mercer to attempt a 21-yard field goal. Mike Mercer, the future Kansas City Chief. And there's a kick and a hold from McFarland. And the field goal is good, and Minnesota has taken a 10-3 lead here in the first quarter. Mercer will kick off. Bookman on the return. Johnny Bookman. The fifth-year player out of Miami, Florida, former New York Giant. We are live from the Polo Grounds in New York City for the New York Titans versus the Minnesota Vikings on Thursday Night Football. Darrow switching the play up. He's going to hand it off to Dick Christie, and he is going to lose 2 yards on the carry. Sammy Baugh not thrilled with what he's seeing. Carl Rubke on the tackle. And both Jim Marshall and Fran Tarkenton are out for the season. Fran Tarkenton suffering an injury against the Buffalo Bills last week when he was trying to lead a comeback. Darrow back to pass. He throws it out to Art Powell. And he's going to pick up 9 yards. It'll be 3rd down. Of course, Al Darrow will sign with the Buffalo Bills. Will be traded to the Buffalo Bills in the offseason. And will start 62, or in real life started 62 as quarterback. I haven't decided who my starter in 62 will be. Because a couple weeks in, Jack Kemp comes from front. Darrow back to pass. He hands it off to Christie. Christie's going to get the first down. Gain of 4. And these ugly uniforms, man. Some of the AFL teams in the early 60s definitely had ugly uniforms. The New York Titans, the Denver Broncos. I wish we could show you, the Oakland Raiders wasn't much better, black and gold. I wish we could show you what the Buffalo Bills look like. It was kind of like the Detroit Lions, but instead of the line, it had a number on them. Just interesting. Boydston comes in motion. Darrow hands it off to Christie. He is going to be hit and dropped in the backfield by Rich Mastardo. With his 2nd tackle on the afternoon. I'm starting to get to know the Vikings. I've seen them between the games against Phantom Fighter, me playing them last week, and this is the 3rd or 4th time they've shown up on the bonus game. I'm starting to get to know the Vikings. They are my daughter's favorite team, mainly because they wear purple. Meanwhile, down in Alabama, there's a young quarterback learning the ropes named Joe Namath. Titans should only pass and the Vikings should only run. Yep, that would be the way of the NFL and the AFL those days. 2nd and 12. Darrow handoff to Christie. Christie tries to get away from tackle. He's going to pick up 3. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Kuchta on the tackle. I see the just showing the stats for the Chargers and Rams down on the screen. I don't know. I got the sound off, so I don't know what they were talking about. But with the Super Bowl in Atlanta this year, that would be something. Potential Charger-Rams Super Bowl in LA versus LA. We never got it when it was the Raiders and Rams, but I don't honestly think we're going to get it this year either. 3rd down and 14. Darrow back to pass. Hands it off to Curly Johnson, and he's flipped head over heels. Charlie Sumner on the tackle. I don't know if we're going to get a replay on that or not. All right, here we go. Johnson just goes boom. Backflip. Charlie Sumner comes in. Suplex. Suplex City, bitch. Of course, that's a reference to a future Minnesota Viking, Brock Lesnar. if you can call him a future Minnesota Viking. By the time we get to the 2004 NFL season, we won't need roster fillers, so he won't be on there. Oh, that's a horrible, horrible punt. Oh my goodness. The punt traveled 9 yards. A 9-yard punt, and the Vikings will take over. And believe it or not, it's not like Minnesota, or that was the New York Titans. Let me see the punter is for the Titans. Curly Johnson, yeah, the backup running back. So the Vikings are the ones with the better kicker. McElhenney gets the carry, and he picks up 8 on the carry. I don't really think so. It just was a horrible punt. Especially when your name is Curly Johnson. I mean, can you ask for much more? Shaw hands it off to McElhenney. McElhenney busts through for the first down. Makes a spin move when he didn't need to. But he just kept running, he would have picked up another 3-4 yards. He's got 49 yards on the day now. Still got some juice left in them old legs. Hugh McElhenney, born December 31st, 1928. Still alive, by the way. So in 61, he is 33 years, well, 32, because we haven't hit his birthday yet. But in NFL running back lore, especially in the era of, because McElhenney ran in the 50s with, no face masks. 32 is quite old for running back. Shaw throws it outside to McElhenney. McElhenney picking up about 7 yards, and it'll be second down and 3. Excuse me. Shaw hands it off to McElhenney. McElhenney is bowled over. Well, I'm going to tell you right now that number 99 is roster filler, because nobody wore those numbers in 1961. So whoever that was wasn't actually on the team. Third down and 2. Shaw fakes the handoff, gets a good block, throws it over the middle to Middleton. Dave Middleton, the 7th-year player out of Auburn, tigered his way into the red zone. And Larry Grantham, the former Colt, makes the tackle. The one thing about Sack to the Future, if you're unfamiliar with what we're doing, we are following the roster movements the way they really happen. So we have no control. Tommy Mason on the carry, he's going to pick up 2 over our rosters. So when you see somebody like Larry Grantham, a former Colt, not that he did anything for the Colts, he didn't play, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's like when I've got Cookie Gilchrist coming up in a couple of years for the Bills, but I only have him for like 2 or 3 years, and then he becomes a Bronco. Mason breaks a tackle, but he's still going to lose 2 yards. So when I have Cookie Gilchrist, it's going to be great. He's a big power back, kind of like a Jim Brown. A lot of people call him the Jim Brown of the AFL. However, he then goes to Denver, and Phantom Fighter gets to run him. So Shaw back to pass, spins around, moves. Oh, he is going to be sacked. I don't know what he was doing, but Ed Cook on the sack. Ed Cook, in his 4th year out of Maryland, the former Chicago Bear. And sometimes you get a guy like Ed Cook, who's a former, but because we started in 60, and the Bears, the Giants, the Browns, the Colts, were around before 60, sometimes you'll have former players that we didn't get to play with. Meanwhile, the Cowboys, the Oilers, the Bills, the Broncos, all expansion teams. So we have 4 1960 expansion teams and 4 pre-1960. Mike Mercer with a field goal. It is 13-3 Minnesota. Mercer with a kickoff now. It's going to be taken in the end zone by Lofton. Number 86. That would be roster filler. Let's see. Nope. So, he wasn't drafted. Lofton must have been the guy that was in the league in 60, but not in 61. Easy enough to Christie on the carry. He picks up a yard. Oscar Lofton played in 1960. There we go. Easy enough. Second down and 9. Doro back to pass. I don't know if it's Darrow or Doro. Looks like Doro. I always misread it as Darrow, though, my whole life, reading about the old 60s Bills. I got a fantabulous book called the 35th Anniversary of the Buffalo Bills. It pretty much goes through everything that happened from 1959 to 1994. I got it when I went to my very first NFL game, November 29th, 1994, as the Buffalo Bills defeated the Green Bay Packers 29-20. It was a Jim Kelly versus Brett Favre day. A lot of good memories about that game. But I got that book, kind of convinced my cousin, who had the season tickets, that as 15 years old I was responsible enough for a book with that caliber, and I still have it to this day, so I guess I was right. What made it even more impressive, and I will be telling some more stories about this man. 3 years later, I was playing college football at SUNY Canton. The head coach happened to be Lee Saban. Doro goes down on a sack by Jim Prestel, and at the end of the year banquet, 97, which would ultimately be my last full season playing, I brought the book to the banquet. There's a page in the 73 season that has a picture of Lou Saban. And I opened it up and I showed it to him. And I asked if he'd sign it. And he did. And he made a crack that now this book's worth a lot more there, Vincent. With that accent of his. And I don't know if it is or not, but it's nice having. He passed away in, I believe, 2009 or 2010. And I got a lot of stories. They're all going to be respectful. He was a great man. And I knew him for 3 years, a 3-year period of my life, playing, and then ultimately working under him as a graduate assistant in '98. And good times. But back to the action here. An incomplete pass. That brings up a 3rd down and 15 for the Titans. My formation. Darrell changing the play. It's going to be a handoff to Curly Johnson. He might not be able to punt, and he cannot run. Looks of it, gains a yard, and it will be 4th down and 14. Growing up in the winter, at the time, the winter sports capital of America. Of course, Salt Lake City has since bypassed it, but I had a lot of good memories of sports growing up in and around Lake Placid, and of course, football's brought me a lot of good. Curly Johnson, wow. This time the punt traveled 11 yards. I think the Titans are definitely in line for new punter next season. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels. Phantom Fighter, as you can see, his name is spelled on the side. Make sure you put a 6 in place of the G. Brian Phelps and John M. So you can see all the active future action you want. Plus, check out other action on the Brian Phelps channel. Some old classic Dallas Cowboy games. Phantom Fighter has a series called Best Era Football, where there's one franchise from each team between 1984 and 2000. I just watched the Houston Oilers versus the Cincinnati Bengals last night from week 2. Of course, the Oilers are playing under the Texans uniforms. Explosive game, Warren Moon versus Boomer Esiason. That was great to watch. John M. and myself running Blast from the Past, and there's other classic stuff. Back November of 2017, what got us started on this run was a series where he was the 86 Giants and I was the 91 Bills. They were the only two teams we edited. And of course, we ended up in the Super Bowl against each other. You can check that stuff out on our channel. So there's a pass over the middle, incomplete. And to bring up a 3rd and 10. As you can see, the game's flashing by on the bottom of the screen. A lot of action still to come. The game's already played. Dallas Cowboys versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cleveland Browns versus the Dallas Texans, and the Oakland Raiders and Denver Broncos. Check those out for Week 13 action. 3rd down and 10, Shaw in the shotgun. High snap, gets it off, hands it off to McElhenney. McElhenney breaks the tackle. He's got the 1st down and then some. He is going to be tackled down to the 1. McElhenney with a 24-yard gain, had a head of steam, broke 1 tackle, and almost went the distance. And Minnesota will call timeout. Already leading 13-3. Some shades of the future for Minnesota here. Of course, Tommy Mason will become the featured back as the decade will go on. And a man named Bill Brown, who just recently passed away, will also be a hard-nosed fullback. There's a pitch out to McElhenney, and he is going to scoop for the touchdown. And McElhenney has 773 yards on the season. This might not be Jim Brown, but for a man of 32 years old, still putting up the yardage. Of course, in this point in Sack of the Future, the old-time leading rusher is Joe Perry. Perry's still got about 20 more games with the Colts, plus another season in San Francisco, so he's got just under a 2,000-yard lead on Jim Brown. We'll see how long I can keep it. My goal is to keep the lead. When is the next Blast and Pass game? You know, I haven't had a chance to work on the Rochester Jeffersons roster. Boy, say that 3 times fast. Rochester Jeffersons. The Cleveland Tigers are ready to go. Of course, the franchises we're going to be using are Chiefs and Jets. Just there's too many teams in the Midwest to get use Cleveland for everything. So, depending on when this game finishes tonight, I might be able to put a little work into Rochester. Adjusting to the snow and everything is kind of taking its toll on me physically. I had to get up in snow below quite a bit, but I hope to get that Blast from the Past game on soon. Doro shoots it out to Christie. He gets out of bounds. Pickup of 8. Second down and 2 from the 33. Doro under center. Comes back to pass. Gives the handoff to Christie. Christie busts free for a 1st down. He's going to get over the 46. About 10-yard pickup. My memory's not that great sometimes. I think they're at the 36, maybe 35. 1st down and 10 now. Doro back to pass. Throws it over the middle. Completes to Max Boydston. He is going to pick up 6, and another timeout by the Titans. They have 1 left. 2nd down and 4 with 44 seconds left. Doro back to pass. Throws it over the middle to Dick Christie. It is going to be incomplete. And a 3rd down and 4. Doro back to pass. He throws. It is intercepted by Charlie Sumner. Sumner could go again. This will be his 2nd pick 6 of the afternoon. They're not going to catch him, and Charlie Sumner has taken 2 back to the house. Well, since Charlie Sumner's having himself a game, let's take a look at the Minnesota Viking defensive back. If I can get my laptop to cooperate. In his 7th season out of William & Mary, drafted by the Chicago Bears in 1954. I bet you wish you had him, Phantom. He's 31 years old, born on October 19th, 1930. He passed away April 4th, 2015 at the age of 84. Did not play in 54. In 55, he played right defensive half. Be the term for... Oh, you did have Sumner. Okay. Be the term for a cornerback of the era. He had 7 interceptions his rookie season. The extra point is good, and it's 27-3. 6 interceptions in 58, including a fumble return of 101 yards for a touchdown. Bookman will take the kick, and the only touchdown of his career. He didn't have any pick sixes in real life. He has 2 in this game. He had 21 total career interceptions throughout his career, which ended after 62, and recovered 2 fumbles. No, 8 fumbles. Sorry, recovered 8 fumbles. Titans now seem content to let the clock run out. Sumner has 4 interceptions on the season. In the real 61, Sumner had 2 interceptions for 6 yards. Christie, and he is tackled for a loss of 3, and that'll end the first half. So at the end of the first half, it's the Minnesota Vikings all over the New York Titans, 27-3. Sammy Baugh coming off the field, decided to wear green today, not the blue and gold. The Minnesota Vikings in 1961 went 3-11 under the tutelage of Norm Van Brocklin. Of course, it was their expansion year, so not a lot was expected. The New York Titans, on the other hand, playing in their second season, went 7-7. A little bit of history here. Originally, the owners of the Minnesota franchise were granted an AFL franchise in 1960. However, the NFL came in. I don't know the exact story, but somewhere along the lines, the NFL came in and offered them a spot in the NFL. So they sat 60 out. The Oakland Raiders would then get the spot in the AFL, and Minnesota would be an expansion in 61. Wow, did you see how hard Don Maynard hit the ground on that play? Anyway, so this game here for AFL purists would definitely be a dream matchup to see an AFL team take on the Minnesota Vikings. However, it's not going the AFL's way right now. Gessman kicks off through the back of the end zone. I think Dick Gessman should take over the punting duty for the New York Titans. Hugh McElhenney on the season, 774 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, won this afternoon. Well, looks like a field goal attempt by Zerline just hit the upright, and the Bears still lead 15-6. Meanwhile, back up here, 2nd and 12 after a 2-yard loss by McElhenney, back to the 23. Shaw hands off to McElhenney. He gets forward for a couple yards. It'll be 3rd down and 6. Shaw back to pass. Almost called him McElhenney. Throws it out to Schnelker. No, when the Rams' offense isn't working and it's going up against probably the best defense in the NFL, you definitely see some glaring weaknesses. Schnelker on the pass reception. There's a look at Norm Van Brocklin, who also in his spare time plays quarterback for the Dolphins. If you want to learn more about why he's doing that, check out some of the other Sack of the Future games from 1961. Shaw takes the handoff, throws it out to Jerry Reichow. He picks up 2. And it'll be 2nd down. interesting. On one of the NFL groups I'm associated with on Facebook, somebody posted a picture of Jim Marshall as a Cleveland Brown yesterday. And all the comments were guys are just having their minds blown that he played a season in Cleveland. Now, of course, if you've been following Sack to the Future regularly, you know that. Unfortunately, we're not seeing him tonight. But I'm sure we're going to see quite a bit of Jim Marshall over the next 17 seasons of Sack to the Future. Third down and 1 after the McElhaney run. This time it's given to Tommy Mason. Oh, he's hit right at the line of scrimmage, and see where they mark it. They give him the first down. Yes, Phantom Fighter sure will, as the Bears play the Vikings twice a season. And both Marshall and Tarkenton will be around until the late 70s. Yep, well, I don't know personally if he got that, but it'd be hard to overturn it. Shaw hands off to Mason. Going to see a lot of Tommy Mason in the next few years as well. He's got 5 yards for 10 today. 5 rushes for 10, I mean. The Vikings have run 17 run plays, 13 pass plays. And 2nd and 7. Shaw back to pass. He's going to scramble to his right. He's going to throw across his body. Gordy Smith cannot hold on to the ball. He's a little bit behind him. He is. He's got a definitely good source to learn from in McElhaney. The $1 million backfield of the 49ers spread out throughout the country. J.D. Smith still the 49ers, but McElhaney in Minnesota. Shaw breaks the tackle, throws back across his body, and it is caught by McElhaney. I don't know how he caught that pass. J.D. Smith, like I said, still with the 49ers, McElhaney in Minnesota, Y.A. Tittle with the Giants, and both Lenny Lyles and Joe Perry with the Colts. Now, of course, the $1 million backfield itself was Perry, McElhaney, and Tittle, but you can't, discredit Lyles and Smith either. This punt a little bit better than what the Titans have been doing, but not much. It'll be 1st and 10 as Oscar Lofton, the roster filler, 22-yard punt for Mike Mercer, or 22 net for the day. That was the Vikings' first punt, I do believe. Let's take a look at Al Darrell, shall we? As he comes up under center on 1st and 10, Al Darrell hands it off to Christie. He was born November 15th, 1929, so that makes him 32 years old at this point. He passed away on December 7th, 2009. He lived to be 80. Throughout his career, he played for the Washington Redskins from 54 to 56, the Philadelphia Eagles in 57, the New York Titans in 60 and 61, and the Buffalo Bills in 62. Darrell hands it off to Dick Christie. Not a big-time contributor. He started 14 games for the Redskins, none for the Eagles, 27 starts with the Titans, and just 4 with Buffalo. So this is at the height of his career. In 61, he had 19 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. Darrell was going to be hit and sacked by Don Joyce. So, a journeyman quarterback, to say the least, for Dick Christie. Or, it's not Dick Christie, Al Darrell. And since I love quarterbacks so much, let's take a look at George Shaw. I gotta find him because he wasn't the starter. George Shaw, in his 7th season out of Oregon, a Baltimore Colt draft pick in 1955. Born July 25th, 1933 in Portland, Oregon. Died January 3rd, 1998. Oh, that's rough. He lived to be 64 years old. So the 4th down punt, and Curly Johnson, actually, maybe there is a lot of wind blowing left, because Mercer had trouble punting that way too, and then Johnson just got off a hell of a punt. Reichel on the return. Shaw played for the Baltimore Colts from 55 to 58, then joined the New York Giants in 59. Spent 2 seasons there. Played Minnesota in 61 and then Denver in 62. So, Fan of Fighter, guess what? This is your quarterback, and you just said he sucked. You're getting him next year. Of course, in reality, he only started 1 game for the Broncos, so you don't have to start him either. McElhenney spinning like a top. He started 12 games in 55 as a rookie for the Colts, then 5 games in 56 as a certain John Unitas took over. Didn't get any starts in 57. Did start 3 times in 58, which is amazing considering the Colts won the NFL championship that year. Started a total of 6 games for the Giants in 2 years. 4 games for the Vikings, and then 1 game in Denver. He was 1-0 though in that start, as he threw a career 41 touchdown passes. Shaw hands it off to McElhenney. McElhenney's got a huge hole in the first down. He makes a spin move, and he's going to get up to the 41-yard line. 40-yard line. 22-yard run. He's over 100 yards now. He threw 41 touchdowns in his 8-year career and 63 interceptions. So, yeah, that's George Shaw. You take McElhenney? No. Let's take a look at McElhenney and see what he does in his future. He was a Pro Bowler in 61. Ooh boy. Hugh McElhenney, born December 31st, 1928. As I said, he's still alive. Went to the University of Washington. Shaw fakes the handoff, and he is going to be sacked. Dropped by Burt Richardshire, the former Colt. McElhenney played for the 49ers from 52 to 60. Joined the Vikings for 2 years, 61-62. Become a New York Giant in 63. And finishes up with the Detroit Lions in 64. In his career, he rushed for 5,281 yards and scored 38 touchdowns. So John M. will be the only Sack to the Future human to control McElhenney for 1 year. Shaw back to pass. On 2nd and 17. Throws it out. It is complete, and we have an injury. Not sure who, but Middleton makes a reception. Hopefully for the Vikings' sake it's not Shaw. Third down and 4. Shaw comes up. Don't see who's injured, so don't know. Back to pass on 3rd and 4. He's going to scramble and throws it to McElhenney. Incomplete. He should have just ran. And Mercer will come on. All right, now let's test the theory on the wind going from right to left here. Yeah, it's a short punt. Going to net 24. Still doing better than Curly Johnson. So with 44 seconds to go in the third, the Titans need to start doing something. Sends Christie in motion. He's back to pass. Throws it over the middle. It is caught by Art Powell. He has not been getting the ball to his receivers enough today. Art Powell and Don Maynard definitely should be getting more passes. Instead, Dick Christie, Max Boydston, they've been the bulk of the offense. 2nd and 10, Doral throws over the middle, almost intercepted. Oh, not to mention the 2 pass receptions to Charlie Sumner. They went for big yardage the other way. 3rd down and 10 now for Doral. So the 2 quarterbacks in this game, in 62, will be members of human control teams. Doral, he is going to run for the first down, as Al Doral will be a Buffalo Bill and George Shaw a Denver Bronco. Doro making like Fran Tarkenton and running. Picks up the first down. As he then turns into Steve McNair and bulldozes his way through a couple Vikings. No, Jared Goff just got crushed. Dick Christie, he makes a spin move and he gets the first down, and that should be the end of the third quarter. Christie has 34 yards on the day. Yes, the third quarter comes to an end here from the Polo Grounds in New York. The Minnesota Vikings lead the New York Titans 27-3. No scoring in the third quarter. The Titans are back against the win now. Doro back to pass. He's going to take off running. Jukes one man and he's going to pick up 3 yards. The Viking defense is 20th in points allowed. They've only given up 3 tonight. Second down and 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Doro's going to run again. Again, I said this, he gets the first down. I said this during he has 51 yards rushing. Clancy Osborne on the tackle. I said this during the Brian Phelps broadcast of the Browns and Texans as Tom Green was running all over the place. The update, I think it was in either March or April, one of the last updates that EA did for this game, where they turned every quarterback into a running quarterback, just completely baffled me. I haven't played Madden 19 enough to see if it's the same way. I just don't understand why every quarterback all of a sudden automatically takes off running. I mean, I know it's a more predominant thing in the NFL nowadays for running quarterbacks, but not everybody. You might see Josh Allen running a lot. You sure as hell don't see, well, heck, I can't, I'm drawing a blank right now. Eli Manning running. Doro's going to run again, as we're talking about it. Gets the first down. 64 yards now on the day. The only Titans offense they have is Al Doro. 26 degrees in Chicago. It's 28 here in upstate New York. Doro takes off running again. That time he gets buried. He's got 70 yards, 105 yards total rushing for the Titans, and Kuchta on the tackle. Second down and 4. Curly Johnson goes in motion. Doro throws over the middle, complete to Brooks. Yeah, right? I don't care. I've lived in upstate New York my whole life. I don't like the cold. Although I say that, and I don't go out and I don't wear heavy jackets unless I'm snow blowing, so I'll put on a windbreaker and it's 10 below. I make my kids bundle up though, that's for sure. Flag on the play. Unnecessary information by Vinny Vincent. False start, first and 15. Back to the 27. The Titans finally have something going, and they're going to screw it up. Down by 24 in the fourth, the greatest NFL fourth quarter comeback. As Doro goes back to throw. Occurred in 1987. 25 points. Phoenix St. Louis Cardinals over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, the greatest comeback 32 points. Buffalo Bills, Houston Oilers. But fourth quarter is 25. So, although the time is definitely grinding down on the Titans, don't count them out yet. Oh, awesome. And for those of you who don't know what that means, search Super Bowl of the Month Club on Facebook and you can find out. It is 1987.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwback to pass. He throws to Oscar Lofton. Let's do a little search on this roster filler named Lofton since his name has now popped up 3 times. Oscar Lofton played 1 season in the AFL for the Boston Patriots in 1960 as an end. He had 19 receptions, 360 yards. He's still alive. He is 80 years old today. Not today, April 2nd. But. So he only played 1 season in the AFL. He's getting second life here in Sack to the Future. Third down and 14. And speaking of Oscar Lofton, there he is down on the bottom of your screen. Again, why is a roster player? Why aren't these historically accurate 100%? Well, here's the thing. Oh, another head over heels flip. Completion to Don Maynard, and he's going to be first and goal. In 1961, NFL and AFL teams each carried 40. Well, actually, NFL carried 40. AFL carried like 35 men on the roster. In 2017, when this game came out, NFL teams carried 53. 45 that start, 53, or 45 that dress, 53 total. So there's 13 guys, or in the AFL's case, up to 20, that are roster fillers. This is how we handle it. There's several kinds of roster fillers. The computer controls these teams. So they go out and they sign people on their own. If they sign 2017 player or 2018 rookie, we will rename them based on the 1961 draft. Players that were drafted by the Titans that didn't make the team, or whatever team that didn't make the team. If they sign a player who didn't play in 61, so when we go through and do the rosters at the end of the season, and I go through using my son's profile and cut down each team down to 40. A guy like Oscar Lofton goes and gets signed, we just leave him be. It's more and a bit of a hassle to rename guys who actually existed, and that's how Norm Van Brocken's in Miami. Of course, the third kind of roster filler are the guys that were cut during the season. Like, for instance, Richie McKay with the Bills retired, and I'm sure he'll pop up somewhere. And Doro tries to run, and he is sacked. By Carl Rubke. He brings up 4th and goal. Skip this. I should be skipping more. They're going to go for a field goal now. This will be a 34-yard attempt for Dick Gessman. And it's good. Big number 77 puts it through. And it's 27-6. The onside kick is taken by Schnelker. Schnelker returns it back to the 35 where the kick occurred. And with 3:03 to go, it is all over but the crying. Total yards of Minnesota with 208, New York Titans 166. Minnesota is 129 on the ground. Speaking of on the ground, McElhenney gets the call. He picks up 3 on the carry. He's up to 121 for the day. Definitely had one of the best games of his 1961 campaign against active people. Don't know if he'll make the Pro Bowl like he did in real life, but give it the old college try. Today, anyway. Give it to McElhenney again. Straight forward and picks up 4 more yards. And we've reached the 2-minute warning. With 2 minutes to go, it's 3rd and 3. The New York Titans will drop to 6-6. And with the wildcard team is currently at 8-4, or 7-4, I should say. Not out of it, but McElhenney, who's going to get over the off through number 4 man. I'm glad I had a decision to make. My son's fantasy team. No, my son has Pat Mahomes. My fantasy team, I have Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know how he did today, but Jared Goff is my backup, and I went with Rodgers. And I know Green Bay beat Atlanta, so hopefully Rodgers had a good game. If the playoffs began before this game, McElhenney straight up the middle, he's going to get 14. If the playoffs began, the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears, or not the Chicago Bears, New York Giants would have first round byes. The Bears would travel to Atlanta. Oh, you had Tarek in. Oh no. We're all in the same fantasy football league too, so it's I was playing my son, so anyway, Bears will travel to Atlanta, the NFC semi-pro division, and the Dallas Cowboys will travel to San Francisco. In the AFL, the Houston Oilers and the Cleveland Browns will get byes. The San Diego Chargers would host, I believe, the Buffalo Bills. Baltimore would travel to Boston, or vice versa, Boston and Buffalo. Not really sure, but that's the end of the game. The Minnesota Vikings defeat the New York Titans 27-6. It's about 11:30, so tomorrow night join the VinnyXWolf channel for the Baltimore Colts and the Boston Patriots. See if I can't do something about Boston. I got 2 games against them head-to-head personally, one with Baltimore, one with Buffalo, so hopefully I can take care of them and help give Buffalo a division championship game. And of course, probably a date with Baltimore in the playoffs. So anyway, till next time, I'm Vinny Vincent, and you're not.